In this lesson, and feel free to have your book in front of you while you're taking notes, we will be learning how to use the distance, rate, and time formula. By the way, a formula is a set of variables that you plug values into. So when you were little, I don't know what grade, you learned side, plus side, oops, equals the perimeter of a triangle. Okay? So why am I telling you that? That's a formula. Length times width equals area. That's another formula. I'll work on my penmanship for the rest of this lesson. So just so you know what a formula is. In this lesson, we'll be solving problems including distance, rate of speed, and time by using the formulas below. I'm going to rewrite them in my notes. You can do the same or not. So I've done some color coding. You can do it. You do not need to. Our first problem. Helena drives 220 miles to visit Niagara Falls. She drives at an average speed of 55 miles per hour. How long does the trip take? So we are looking for finding time. So what we want to do is we want to take what we know and plug it into the problem. So the distance is 220, and we know that her rate of speed is 55 miles an hour. We're trying to find out how long she traveled. All right, so there's the formula that we use. We've plugged our information that we know in here, and now you're set to divide. Go ahead and do that. And with the rate of speed, you always want to notice the measurement. So this is 55 miles an hour. When you divided, you found that it was 4. You can't just put 4. 4 watts, 4 hours. This is the type of math you'll see your parents do all the time. Let's try another. So in this problem, Santiago's class traveled to the Museum of Natural Science for a field trip. To reach the destination, the traveled at a rate of 65 miles per hour for 2 hours. What distance did Santiago's class travel? So the first thing you want to do is determine which one of these formulas is going to work. Well, since the question is what distance did Santiago's class travel, you're looking for distance, so that would be the correct formula. The formulas, it's always a good idea to write it down and then underneath put in the information that you know. So we know that the rate of speed was 65 miles an hour, and that's multiplied. And the time that they traveled was 2 hours. I'll go back and color code this later on. And so we simply multiply, which is 130. And since we know that the speed was, if you look in the problem, miles per hour, then we know that the distance was 130 miles. If you like color coding, I went ahead and color coded the last problem. Here's a new one we're going to try. Subway travels at 32 feet per second. How far does it travel in 16 seconds? First of all, determine which formula will you use. We are looking for, of course, how far, so distance. Hopefully you chose D equals R times T. And what do we know? We know that the rate of speed is 32 feet, and the time is 16 seconds. It will travel 512 feet. Your answers will be correct when they are labeled correctly. So in this case, it would be 50. So we're going to do some practice together and we'll see how that goes. This was a lesson on learning how to use the distance, rate, and time formula.